Well, hello there, everybody. Welcome back to the Mean Machine Snowmobile Shop. I hope you guys are all having a good day today and a good evening. It's Friday evening here in Maine, and it's a beautiful night. It's on the tad muggy side, but hey, it's a good night to be out in the shop working on a snowmobile, a race motor. So, if you guys remember, I said we was gonna, put the starter cup on. We're getting really close to finishing this motor, this build. If you haven't seen the build we've been doing, I encourage you to go back and go through my videos. Right now, currently, I'm just waiting for the head. It's been shipped. I expect it any day now. Excuse me, guys, if I'm having a little, like it seemed like I'm having heartburn or something, a hiccup. So I just finished supper. It's Friday night. It's taco night. Tacos. So anyways, guys, I'm going to bring you over here on the bench. I'm going to show you so the differences in the CDI ignitions, and I'm going to explain why and how I found the ignition to run on this 250. So let's jump right into it. Okay, guys, so this is the original OEM CDI ignition that comes with the regular twin motors. It comes with like the 500 liquid, the 488, the 440, the 400. Basically, they're all the same stroke. The 488 and the 500 have the same bore. They're all basically the same, except for on the 400 plugs, it's actually reversed. You have the male on some of the 400s. I have. There's two males and just one of the females. But anyways, so, and obviously these are basically plug and play. So guys, I'm going to set you back over off to the side, and now I'm going to show you the CDI ignition that I found and how I found it and how good it works. Okay guys, so now, like I just said, this is the original OEM CDI ignition. You can see, I hope you can see that. Hopefully it's focused so you can see how the plug is. So, this is the CDI ignition that we are going to be using. Now, it has the same color codes as the 500. It is for the same stroke as the 500. This is off a 250 Trail Boss four-wheeler. Okay. Now, how I discovered this CDI box was, okay, so I'll brief background. So what we used to do when we used to build these motors back in the day is we used to snip off one of these wires. Now, you could run this over to, something and just, ground it out, run a plug and just have the plug firing. I've seen guys do that, actually. I personally haven't done that. What we used to do was ruin this, basically. Cut this wire, take a piece of, like, tubing or something, put it over it, put some black silicone or whatever on it, or whatever you could. It would work, and you just use the one plug wire. It would work, but you'd get lifted. And now, I mean, when the motor's running, and maybe you're trying to tune your motor at the track or whatever, and I know this because I would reach down to try to maybe, play with the carburetor a little bit or something down in the sled, and I'd get whacked every time. I mean, every time. And it would jump fire, and it was just, well, it turned out to be a nightmare. I ruined a few of these, and they don't give them away. So, when I was told, what prompted me to build the 250, okay, instead of just getting a stocker out of a Colt or something, what I did is when I decided that I was going to build it, I was like, okay, excuse me, I got to try to find if there's an alternative to using the twin box to a single. So what I did is I started internet, and I got thinking about it actually, And I thought to myself, well, the 250 Trail Boss and 250 Cyclone are the same stroke as an Indy 500 or a 488 or a 440 or a 400. So I was like, well, okay. So I thought about it some more, and then I looked at the plug. I looked it up. I saw a picture of it, and I see how this is, okay? So these are the same, guys. They're identical. It's a plug and play to an Indy 500. It is literally just boom, that quick. And so in my first video that I posted, I already have a Cut 250 already built. It's in the sled. It's all running. If you haven't seen that, go back and watch that video. You'll see the motor running. You'll probably catch a glimpse of this CDI box mounted on the rewind. So that's how I discovered it, okay? And I was like, I did not know if it would work, all right? But to be honest with you, I've spent money in the racing game and years back, and that stuff I don't even use anymore. So I was like, well, you know what? So this box, I thought to myself, okay, it was like 14, 15 bucks. I bought it on eBay, and I was like, all right, I'm going to give it a shot. So I bought it. Turns out it works phenomenal. And also, I found that they make a high RPM box that basically looks just like this. So that's the background behind this CDI box. So it is a plug and play. Boom, it's it. That's, you know, it's done. And all you got to do, there's your ground, and then you just, you know, hook your coil up, which I have the coil already mounted on my rewind, guys. Now, you can use whatever you want for a coil. This coil is off, let's see, I junked out a 700 Skidoo triple. And I kept the coils and the carburetors, you know, I kept some stuff off it. And this is, you know, and I have this same coil on the motor that's, you know, in my first video that's running. So I just use this. I mounted it on here. You don't have to use one of these. You can get any coil you want. I just, you know, had this kicking around the shop and I put it on. So I'm going to mount the CDI box on here, guys. And I'll be right back with you. Okay, guys, so I spared you I just, you know, I got the bolt. I just spared you me putting this on. That's pretty self-explanatory. You can mount it any way you want. You don't have to mount yours where I mounted mine if you're doing a motor like this. But you can see I plugged it in. Okay. It's definitely plug and play. It's so cool. And obviously, okay, this wire here, guys, is going to be your ground. This will be your hot, and etc. there. So, guys, that's, you know, it's getting there. This motor is definitely getting there. Actually, I'll bring you right over here and show you. So, there it is. Okay? I mean, it is definitely close. We're talking like, you know, the head. I still have to put the, you know, torque up the nut on the flywheel. But other than that, and I just got a couple bolts in the rewind just to hold it. I just did it as a demonstration, guys, to show you. But, I mean, this is what the final deal is going to be. So, and I ain't editing nothing out, guys. I'm just letting the camera roll. So yeah, so this motor is really gaining ground, guys. It's coming. We're close. Head, torque to head. You know, I'll hook all this up. Hook all this together and ground it out. And then we'll pull her over, and then we got to do the motor plate. The motor plate will be the last thing we do, and that's going to be that's a little. It's not tricky, but. What I do with mine, okay, is that I drill the holes in the plate and I cut the plate so that I can just bolt the motor in onto the plate, and it'll bolt right into any chassis that accepts that motor plate. You know, the 500 chassis, the 400 chassis, the 440 chassis. I think them are all the same. I think the 340s, I know the 340 is different. So, yeah, so we're close. Excited about this one. I'm not going to be, per se, racing this motor, because I already got one in the sled, but if it goes down, boom, I just slap this one in, we're going. That's it, you know. So and anybody who races usually has a backup, or they have the parts to fix it right at the track. I've seen that countless times, guys, countless. I've seen guys change motors, you know, and I've even done it, per se, changing parts. I haven't changed the motor at the track, but, you know, I've changed it one night after a race to be ready for the next day, or for testing the next day. So, guys, that's it. You know, just a quick video on where we're at. It's actually pretty self-explanatory. You can use, like I said, use whatever coil you want. You don't have to use what I did. I know guys that use XCR coils or the 650 coils, whether they're individually single coils. Any single coil will work, basically. So, guys, give it a try. Let me know. Drop me a comment, if you would, please. If you guys are thinking about doing this, or if you find it interesting. And like I said, guys, you know, we're going to get this one finished up before I go on to something else. And we are going to go, it's right down on the floor in front of me, guys. We are going to finish the 250 Trail Boss, you know, the cylinder that I machined. I've talked about it. I've showed it to you. We're going to get that motor finished. And I know it's like, okay, I know you've already done a Motor Scott. You've already done a 250. Well, this one is a little bit different. And this one might end up in the sled before the, you know, the season's over when we start racing. Because I really want to try it. And, you know, that's just the way it is. It's only just a matter of it's that quick. You know, just pull the bolts out, slap it in, plug everything back in, you know, carburetor, whatever, boom, and you're going. It's that fast. And I set my stuff up so that, you know, it all interchanges. So, guys, thanks for tuning in tonight. I hope you're finding this stuff interesting. Please like and subscribe if you're watching. It helps my channel to get it out there for the algorithm and help it to grow. And if you would, please drop me a comment, you know, and please share my content. It would really help the channel so we can get more people coming to the channel and having fun with us and hanging out in the shop. So like I always say, guys, I hope you enjoy the rest of your day or / evening. And may God bless.